Hey guys, now that you're under contract, I just wanted to kind of give you a lay of the land, what to expect next. We've got a couple of things that happen pretty fast here. The first thing being inspections. The home inspection usually includes the property inspection, the termite inspection, and if necessary, any well or septic inspections. Those have to be done, the termite inspection, the property inspection, all have to be done generally within 10 days to 15 days, depending on what contractually has been negotiated. So you've got about 2 weeks to get all the inspections done. When those inspection reports come back, the buyer then has the right to basically submit what's called a defects notice of repairs, things that they'd like to see corrected. Those repair requests now, they have to be what's considered to be latent defects, things we can't see. So if walking through the house at time of listing there's a broken window and that window is easily seen, that needs to be asked for in the contract, not at time of inspection. The inspection is not also for cosmetic stuff. If there's little holes in the wall or little cracks that are strictly cosmetic, or there's dirty carpet, it's nothing for like that. It's for the main things, like it's for electrical problems, right? It's for plumbing problems, roof problems, foundation problems, things that really affect the integrity of the house. Are there leaks anywhere? I guess that would be plumbing, right? So the inspection reports and the defects request has to happen within that predetermined time, whether it's 10, 12, 14 days. Then as the seller has the right to do basically three things. One is they say, yes, we'll agree to do all of these repairs. Second, they can say, no, we're not going to do any of these repairs. And third, they can then say, we'll do some of these repairs, but not all of them. So that then goes back to the buyer. The buyer then usually has about 5 days to look over the seller's response and make a decision how they wish to proceed. Historically speaking, if the seller says, yes, I'll do everything on this list, the buyer stays in the contract. They're bound to the terms of the contract. If, however, the seller decides to either not do any repairs or to do only a few of the repairs, then the buyer has back control. The ball's back in their court, right? And they can decide, do they even want to proceed forward with the contract, or do they wish to not? Do they wish to back out of the contract at that point in time, or do we just get into this negotiation game back and forth? As long as the buyer still really loves the house and the seller still wants to sell, we usually end up negotiating something somewhere in the middle there. So that's what happens right now that we've got this under contract. That's the first thing to expect, is having those inspections set up, getting those results, and making those notices. Beyond that, then we also have the appraisal. The appraisal usually happens somewhere around the second or third week after being under contract, depending on how backed up the banks are. But that's going to happen. That may create another negotiating opportunity. If the home appraises for the purchase price or more, great, no big deal, we move forward. If, however, it comes back and it's a little less than appraisal, we just get back into another negotiating standpoint, because at that point in time, the seller can either reduce the sales price down to meet the appraisal, or the buyer can say, you know what, I'm walking, this doesn't work, it's not worth what I'm paying for it. Or again, we can negotiate somewhere in the middle if the buyer is willing to come up with maybe some extra cash to meet the difference there, to make that work out. Because sometimes the lender won't loan based on the purchase price, right? They're going to loan based on the appraisal. So that happens. And the other thing then too is we got to get title commitment ordered to make sure that it's free. The house is free and clear of any liens. There haven't been contractors that have done work out there and put a lien on the house. Make sure there's not somebody else besides the seller on the contract that has rights to claim, the house, the property. So the title company is going to get all that going. And from there, really, it's once those three hurdles, those main things are cleared, we're really just in a waiting game the remaining last week or two till we get to closing, until the final walkthrough is done right before closing by the buyer to make sure everything's as it was when they bought the house, when they put it under contract. So guys, that's where we're at right now. Just want to give you a lay of the land. If you have any questions, zap me back an email or give us a call. 417-501-4771. Again, 501-4771. Congratulations on getting your home under contract.